The following is a presentation of the Pro Wrestling Report. Television, radio, internet, the world. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the award-winning Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN, live at ESPNMilwaukee.com and on Blog Talk Radio. We are live Monday night, March 7, 2011. Damian Nelson here along with the Cause, the Doctor of Thugonometry, and David Octavius the Tiberius, the alleged Hall of Famer hero. And the social media diva, Linda Kay, is here tonight. Going to be reading your tweets and your Facebook comments.
It smells good in the studio tonight.
Thank you. Thank you.
No,
cool,
it's because
cool
of Linda.
Oh. Well, I'm the only hottie in the room.
Why, thank you.
You're the hottie.
We apologize
for
the delay, ladies and gentlemen, but welcome you to the show tonight. We're going to be taking your phone calls on what was a very eventful Monday night in professional wrestling. The number, 276-ESPN.
414-276-ESPN.
Yes. Or
not everybody is 414 around here.
You do realize that there is a bottle of hot sauce in front of me, and I'm a little irritated right now, even though the star of WWE, must-see champion, The Miz, swerved all three of you today.
JBL. How was I swerved?
1-800-990-ESPN, 1-800-990-3776. We're also going to be taking your tweets live on Twitter. Our Twitter username is @PWRShow, or you can just follow @Frank_Kaz for all the entertainment that you will ever need.
Hey, do you think The Miz was having barbecue with Hornswoggle under the ring all night tonight?
I'm going to ask you one thing right now. All right?
Just one?
Just one thing right now. We got the Road Dogg coming up.
Yes, we do.
In the second hour here of the program.
Tonight.
We hope to be getting some overtime here so we can get to all the things we need to talk about. But I'm asking you one thing.
Yes.
You, last week on Primetime TV, last week right here on ESPN Radio, became a bit of a Ms. Marquee. True or false?
False.
A bit of a Ms. Marquee. Somewhat.
All I said is that he's going to beat John
So you're
Cena
on the wagon. You've jumped on board.
I am on the wagon, absolutely.
You're following all of us smart wrestling fans who knew that from November till now that The Miz would be the longest reigning WWE champion over the last 2 years.
No.
You now are part of that. Over the last 2 years.
First of all, I'm not going to follow you wrestling fans. I'll follow Linda Kay. I'll follow the Cause. I'm not going to follow Damian Nelson down that.
We're live in the chat room on Blog Talk Radio as well. So many of you, hundreds of you right now in that chat room on Blog Talk Radio. But, gentlemen, let's get to it. And as I said, we're going to get to an interview with the Road Dogg. He's going to talk about his father, Bob Armstrong, being inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in Atlanta, the ATL, for WrestleMania 27. We're also going to talk about TNA's big impact last week. And, of course, the most noteworthy of things is tonight's WWE Raw, where we saw JBL, John Bradshaw Layfield, make a surprise return to WWE. Ladies and gentlemen, JBL is, as you probably remember, simply known as the Wrestling God.
All night, Frank. We're going to deal with this all night.
It can't be a better place than WWE right now, especially on Raw. Thank you very much, Tillman. Listen to this music. You got bears, you got bulls, you got the opening bell. You have regal, you have royalty.
Do you know what sucks about JBL coming out tonight?
He didn't dance. I know. I like it when he does that little dance.
Is Del Rio didn't get to drive his car out tonight.
Who?
Alberto Del Rio.
Oh, the new guy?
Yeah, the guy headlining WrestleMania.
No, the Miz is headlining WrestleMania, or Michael Cole, if you believe him. Look, I'm not gonna. I can't, Frank. You're here. You're supposed to be the in the middle here, and you are.
I'm picking my spot.
Of course, you always do.
What
and what
spot
the
is
heck,
that, Frank?
Harvard Thugonometry?
Yes, it was full class.
I'm sure it was. All right, JBL back on Raw tonight. Here was
the
scenario.
Good, didn't he?
He looked great. He looked great back when he was the longest reigning WWE champion in SmackDown history, too. Michael Cole announcing who his special guest referee is. And he teased it was going to be Stone Cold Steve Austin. As we knew, Stone Cold was going to be part of Raw tonight. And we're going to get to some of your tweets and Facebook comments about that later on. Michael Cole teasing that the special guest referee was going to be Stone Cold. However, it was another very famous Texan, and it was JBL. Gentlemen, a bit of a surprise for sure. Kaz, your thoughts?
Very surprised. And like I mentioned before, he looked great as far as keeping in shape and stuff. But it'll work great at WrestleMania.
What was that?
What?
JBL? You were really happy to see JBL?
Well, I don't think I said I was happy.
Sorry,
to see
Frank.
him.
Apparently your opinion doesn't matter about here.
It does. Wow.
It was
I didn't
great.
think he was going to come back.
He looks good.
He stood in the middle of the ring at WrestleMania 25 and quit WWE. Quit World Wrestling Entertainment.
Oh, no, that was after he did the, 30-second job to Ray Ray?
Yeah.
It'll be a fun match to watch.
Uh-huh.
This will be the family match. I'll put it that way.
Cole and King?
Yeah. This will be the one where you'll get a good laugh throughout the evening or throughout that match, and it'll be well done.
Dave, you've been hating on this match since pretty much it was announced.
No. I've been hating on it.
I'm
just frustrated for Jerry Lawler that this is what he gets. You know?
What do you mean? This is what he gets?
He finally makes it to WrestleMania, and he gets
He's
Michael
got
Cole.
the easiest job in the
No, he
company.
doesn't. He does not. He's going to be in the ring with a guy that has never wrestled before, except for one other gimmick match. So now he has to carry the whole thing and try to make it look believable.
I'm sure Jerry will do a great job. I'm sure he's happy to have a job with WWE and to have one of the easiest jobs in WWE. You don't have to night in and night out, take bumps and such. And he's done great the last few weeks in some of those matches, and now he'll have a fun match at WrestleMania. I'm sure he'll have a blast.
Well, he's going to have a blast. He's going to get a nice payday. But I'm just saying, Michael Cole.
What will JBL's involvement be? Was this a one-shot deal, do you think? Or will we see more of JBL interacting in this situation with Jerry Lawler and Michael Cole, and now the special guest referee, Stone Cold.
Wow,
I think it's a one-thing deal. That's my opinion.
Stone Cold.
No, not Stone Cold. JBL.
No. I'm just thinking Stone Cold comes back for this. I mean, he's better off wrestling Scott Hall again, Wow.
Well, a lot of comments on our Facebook page. Our Facebook page is www.facebook.com/ProWrestlingReport. And let's go to the social media diva, Linda Kay, to read some of your comments that you posted in regards to JBL returning to WWE Raw tonight.
All right, guys, lots of comments on Facebook. All right, we're going to start with Justin Tyler Barnaby saying, great, right? I got it right when Cole said a legendary Texan. Epic. All right? And then, yes.
I like that.
Epic.
Epic.
There's actually more to that, but I can't say it on the air. All right. Chris Barkley says.
Is that look for Linda After Dark?
What?
Ooh la la.
It's dark already. Well, at least from where I sit.
All right, some more
My
comments.
ears perked up all of a sudden.
That's the only thing.
We got another comment from Chris Barkley saying, it's Stone Cold. It's Stone Cold. Lucas Cabrera saying, Stone Cold Stunner, Stone Cold Stunner. And some more comments coming up here regarding
Oh, go ahead.
all that beer on that ring. Okay. We got
By the way, what kind of beer was that?
Keystone Light.
There
I know
you
my
go.
beer.
There you go.
Well, lots of comments from you on our Facebook page reference JBL returning to WWE Raw. And as I said, we're going to be taking your phone calls on this issue and many, many more. The number 414-276-ESPN, 414-276-ESPN, or all over the world at 1-800-990-ESPN. Tillman, if it's okay, we're going to go right to the top of the hour. Take SportsCenter after that. Thank you so much, sir. 1-800-990-ESPN, all over the world. So much more happening on Raw tonight, including Christian, who returns on SmackDown this Friday, by the way, in a match against Brodus Clay.
My pick to win NXT
last
week.
But he didn't.
He's second place.
But that's not winning.
Well,
how about your Charlie Sheen there? He's not winning anymore either, is he?
Wait. Hold on.
He
Why
got
is he my
fired.
Charlie Sheen?
Oh, you've been retweeting and winning and all. Wait a minute. You know that I have a shirt now.
Yes, I do. You stole my winning and put it on your shirt.
No. Because in this room, I'm the only winner. I am the 2010 Wrestling Radio Host of the Year. Believe that,
But
player.
I'm the Hall of Famer.
Where's
my
the paperwork?
HOFer shirt?
You're not getting one. And did I read properly? There's some shirt about being your future ex-wife out there.
You're not my future ex-wife.
I didn't buy the shirt.
Okay. Waiting for Linda to buy one.
I looked at the site and I saw it and I like it.
See, that's all we needed to hear.
Do you like it like you like pro wrestling? Because that's another shirt available in the shop at pwrshow.com.
I love the Yabba Dabba shirt.
Yabba Dabba what?
Ex-wife.
We want to thank all of you interacting with us on Twitter right now or being overwhelmed by your comments. But one person, Lil Villain 816, saying, I thought Ric Flair was the wrestling god. No, Ric Flair is just God by his own saying. By his own saying. I'm not saying he is. Oh, what are you looking? We got heat.
No, we don't. All the heat here is your rooster sauce. That's about it.
Thanks, pal.
Well, you leave it on.
Kristen wrestles on Raw tonight against Brodus Clay and wins.
You know what? Brodus Clay has an amazing look. He reminds me of like King Kong Bundy meets One Man Gang. You know, he's just a monster.
Little rhino
He's
in there.
So huge.
He's a big dude.
He is big. It's it's too bad he had to work with Christian. I mean, he's a great worker.
By the way, Christian looks older all of a sudden.
Oh, he is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
he's
tonight,
been around for 10 years.
But tonight, they had some close-ups, and it was kind of like, boy, oh boy, he's getting up there.
You know, we're also taking your text messages tonight for the first time. We're going to give the number out in a minute, but we just received a text. I love it. And I'm reading this. Actually, Linda, since you're the social media diva, why don't you go ahead and read that in the little box there.
Is this all about The Miz?
On our advanced copy of the iPad 2.
It says, will you guys take back my DHHS shirt for credit on Damien's shirt?
Winning.
All sales are
Winning.
final. Are you serious?
If he's got a receipt, maybe we'll work it.
No. All sales are final.
If Linda reads it, it is true.
I believe it to be true, but I'm just saying, no, there's no refunds.
I believe these
no
truths to
exchanges.
be self-evident.
Really?
We're going to take a timeout in just a moment, and when we come back, we're going to talk to Eric in Heartland and Ricardo down in Houston as well. We want more of you on the phone lines. The number 276-ESPN, 276-3776, or all over the world at 1-800-990-ESPN. The Undertaker opening WWE Raw tonight, making the match between he and Triple H at WrestleMania 27, 10 years later after WrestleMania 17, but the same way. They wrestled at WrestleMania 17 in a no-holds-barred match, and to be honest with you, if it holds up to the awesomeness that it was at WrestleMania 17, this is going to be one heck of a slobber.
I have a theory on this match, too.
You're still going to try to play this HBK card?
Yeah. If you want, we can talk about it after the break. We can
No, we got time. About a minute is about all I can endure.
Oh, no. I need more than a minute to lay this whole thing out. This is a perfect way for Triple H to retire. No holds barred. He'll be hit with everything.
And am I correct that Triple H was not even on Raw tonight? Not that he needed to be, but he was not.
No, because he's busy getting ready to be signing copies
Not
of his
live.
DVD tomorrow.
And here's what's perfect about that, and we'll talk about some of the challenges TNA is having later on in case we didn't enough last week. But what are you going to have next week now?
We're going to have
Triple H.
Triple H
responding to The Undertaker.
and Snooki.
Much like this Cena and Rock thing, it's been week to week
Well,
to
I
week.
think the Cena Rock
Triple
thing
H.
ended tonight.
Oh, no. There's another Rockism coming up.
Really? I think it's done.
John Cena was horrible. tonight.
Terrible.
My ears are still bleeding. That's how
Is that
bad
what
he
that
was.
is?
Yeah.
I thought it was the Rooster's hot sauce.
He was just,
Dripping.
at the moment he opened his mouth, I'm like, I
It
can't
didn't work.
tonight.
It didn't work tonight.
I can't. I mean, I'm riding a high. Even though The Miz was boycotting Raw, JBL had returned, Dolph Ziggler was back, Vicky Guerrero was back, Michael Cole was dressed like Brother Love. It was a great, great night on Raw until John Cena came out. And remember, that was the main event. That was the advertised main event. There was not a wrestling match. And matter of fact, just like last week on Raw, not much wrestling tonight on Raw, but I don't think it took away from the program at all. It's WrestleMania season, and every week it's all about
Rabbit
pushing
season.
to WrestleMania
season.
27 from the ATL. This is the award-winning Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com.
Latino Heat. Chica, ¿tú quieres probar a un latino más? ¡Latino! Ven conmigo. ¡Latino! Come on. ¡Latino!
Welcome back to the award-winning Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN, streaming live at ESPNMilwaukee.com. I want to thank Mark Gardiano.
Gardetto?
I'm not Italian. I'm sorry, Frank.
Wow.
Well, Frank is.
So Frank would
It's
know how to...
Giordano.
He did know. He just corrected me.
Hey,
Clearly he knows knows how
a
to
great
say.
pizza place in Chicago.
It is. They got great
let
pizza
Frank and
down
I
there.
do this. We're having a moment here, all right?
You want a moment with Frank? By all means, have a moment with
One of
Frank.
our fans on Facebook who sent over that theme, Eddie Guerrero, a little bit of Latino heat. Damian Nelson here along with the Kaz, the doctor of thugonometry, David Octavius, the Tiberius, the alleged Hall of Famer, and the social media diva, Linda Kay. Linda, anything good going on Twitter out there? Our Twitter username @PWR Show. She's searching through the stream right now. Speaking of the stream,
Oh my God!
Sunday, the stream returns. We're going to be covering TNA's pay-per-view this Sunday night, starting at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Live coverage. What is so funny?
Nothing.
I'm not playing this inside joke. You know what?
You know what I think?
It doesn't
He's
matter
gonna
what
fail
you
the
think.
piss test. There's no way. He's way too jacked.
There's no getting me down. JBL, Dolph, Vicky, The Miz.
The
Look.
PEDs.
I'll wait. No, I'll wait.
No. It's fine. It's good. Relax.
We're delayed. We started late, and you two are going to play shenanigans here. I'm getting text.
Shenanigans.
Linda just sent out our number. You can text the show.
What is the number?
I'll give it in just a minute after I build it up a little bit.
Build it
You
up,
can
Buttercup.
text us here live now on the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN. Special number for text only. Several of you have called the number. Well, it won't ring. So the number.
Somebody call my mom.
We get a notice here saying, look, Miss
Cousin Jack
tried to call you.
Jack gets a text number. Hey, Kez.
You can text us, the number 414-219-9125. Again, that's 414-219-9125. Getting a lot of text messages from all of you out there all over the world right now. Linda, thank God we got you, because we can't follow all these social media channels that we have nowadays, and now I can focus on making sure David and Frank are in line during the program here and doing their part, as opposed to watching our feeds.
We
The
need
stream.
to do things better.
The stream, Sunday night during
Ned?
TNA's pay-per-view starting at 8:30 p.m. Not ordering the pay-per-view, the best way
Oh,
to
wait a
experience it live is to join us on the stream.
We got to order that? Sunday? Oh, we'll be the booker there this week, huh?
On prime time.
There you go.
I have no idea what the matches are. Have they announced any yet?
One, I believe. We'll get to TNA later. We still got a lot of Raw to talk
I'm just
about.
asking. I got to prepare. I need notes.
Including Nexus taking out Orton backstage, including a go to sleep. But Orton, no kryptonite in his way tonight, because he came back and took out Otunga and put him in the FCW crate, it looks like, with a punt kick to the head. So the dissection of Nexus continues, and I, for one, think this is a good way to build the matchup between CM Punk and Randy Orton at WrestleMania.
Can I have your attention, please? Is that another text message we got going here?
Yes, from someone who was at Raw from the 469 area code
Oh, my
saying,
goodness.
I was at Raw. This is a tremendous
What
show.
area code was that?
I don't know, but somebody from the 248 area code just tried to call us.
248.
The number, let's clear things up. You are ridiculous. The number, 414-276-ESPN, 414-276-3776 to be live on air. All right, if you want to text us, the number is 414-219-9125.
Don't be coming out Linda's phone number now.
Hey.
That would be a mess. And Frank would get hot about it.
The dissection of Nexus, your thoughts?
I think it's terrible. You know what? They build these kids up for almost a year now.
Yep.
To now just piece by piece take them apart. I mean,
They're going to be irrelevant after WrestleMania.
well, I hope not, because they've
Well, they should
put
go
a lot of time
singles
and money
at this
into
point.
them. No, you can't put these guys in singles. David Otunga doesn't mean anything as a singles wrestler. He doesn't.
Who are you going to match up? He's going to match up with someone.
Michael McGillicuddy doesn't mean anything as a singles wrestler. You're going to have a bunch of Ted DiBiase's and Cody Rhodes running around pretty soon. Guys that just are irrelevant right now.
Then they would need to have Orton lose at WrestleMania to keep that
I don't
going.
see why they can't keep a stable together for longer than 6 months. I mean, the Four Horsemen was, I'm not comparing those guys to the
Right.
Four Horsemen or the Hart Foundation.
Right.
I'm just saying keep the guys together. It makes things more interesting. That's why they brought them all up, to create stars, and now because it's not working, they're not trying to create any more stars.
If CM Punk does not win at WrestleMania, how do they continue that storyline to make Nexus relevant? I mean, they're in trouble.
Big trouble.
All right, guys. He's got a important tweet here. You guys ready?
A foreign tweet?
An important tweet.
Important. Not foreign.
Imported.
I got
Comes from It's Batman Silly. He says, you guys are making no sense. Cena had a great spot and put The Rock in his place, keeping this work going.
That's why it's Batman silly. If that was Superman, he would have got it. See what I mean? See how the sickness just keeps going?
He's down with the sickness.
My God.
Wow.
Hey, everybody out there is entitled to their opinion, and that's what this show's all about, is your opinions and sharing them with us. But sorry, Cena sucked tonight.
It wasn't that
Brutal.
good. I mean, and you can tell in his demeanor that he just kind of just forced everything tonight.
You know what sucks about Cena? Is it's all potty humor with him.
Yeah.
It's all,
You think he didn't write half that stuff?
who knows who wrote it. But you know what? I want put it this way. Thank God Cal didn't watch Raw tonight, because I don't want to have to explain a pearl necklace to him. Right? You know, if John Cena is his favorite wrestler,
it was like Barbara Billingsley wore.
Yeah, that's Leave It to Beaver. Sure.
Same category, right?
Right. But you know what I'm saying? There was no reason for that. You know what? That is how you get cheap heat, and that's what Cena did.
All right. Well,
Pinwheel.
lots of comments coming into our text feed
Oh my
on
God,
tonight's
blowing up.
WWE Raw. Linda, social media diva, take it away.
Raw really was a good show tonight. Wow, WWE is pulling out all the stops.
They absolutely are. I mean, it's to the point. You know what? And
It's steamrolling
it
right
pains me to say this because we do have some very, good friends in TNA,
Mhm.
okay? But damn, they're going to become forgettable pretty soon.
Well, this next
Gonna
4
be
weeks.
pretty soon. I mean, let's be honest here. And we made this point. You got to watch last week's PWR Primetime. We spent about 20 minutes talking about this, and it's such a painful topic. And I'm not saying TNA is painful, by the way. I'm saying the topic is painful to talk about because, it's like you buy a car and it's got all these tricks and tools and all these toys, and then
And then they don't have the right paperwork for you.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. It's so frustrating, and we're going to talk about TNA later because there's a brand new TNA World Heavyweight Champion. But that
How long has TNA been on the air?
they've been on Spike, I think, for the last 4 years, maybe.
In total, 8 years?
But they've been in existence for about 8 years. Yeah.
Could they have one wrestler right now that could come back and the crowd would go absolutely nuts?
In TNA?
Right.
Well, I mean, you saw Impact last week. Sting came back. He was
who's the
gone for
biggest-
4 months.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They
don't have anybody.
they've got so long to go to get this right, and they can still make it right. They've got time. They got awesome talent there, but to see how Raw and WWE does this year in and year out, getting you set for WrestleMania, that is how TNA has to figure out Bound for Glory. As they get ready for their biggest pay-per-view of the year.
I'm proud to say we're doing things the Vince McMahon way.
The only way to do them.
I'm telling you, WrestleMania, we talked about this 3 months ago, how it was going to be rather uneventful. Wow. They are just shaking everything up.
Everything.
You bring back The Rock, you bring back Stone Cold.
You have JBL, and it's all these added elements that are going to make it a memorable show. Now their challenge is how they're going to pull it off with all these stars.
Let's go to a phone call. Calling us from Heartland, Wisconsin. Eric, you're live.
Amigo.
Eric. Heartland Eric.
5.
Time you guys actually get to TNA, that I will be in bed, hopefully. TNA is...
Wait. So you want to be in bed when we talk about TNA? Hello? I think Eric's gone.
I think he's in bed already.
Uh-oh.
Call back.
Well, let's go to Ricardo in Houston. Ricardo on line 2, you're live.
Damien, David, and Kaz, what up, dogs?
What's up, amigo?
What up?
We've got the lovely Linda Kay here also,
Oh, I was about to get to her. Why, hello, beautiful. Nice talking to you.
Why, hello.
All right, Ricardo, take it easy, amigo. Come on now.
Anyways, TNA, I just want to say one thing. Don't you think they benefited just a teeny bit last week from getting that exposure
on SportsCenter with the whole Bart Scott thing?
Maybe
sure,
a little
I mean,
bit.
Yeah, it helped, but you know what?
I mean,
here's the problem with that, Ricardo. And I'm a big Kurt Angle fan. Kurt Angle just looked like a dude in the ring with him.
oh yeah, I mean, he couldn't look like a midget compared to Bart Scott. I mean,
Well, not even that. He was a guy in street clothes, you know, and they had all that wedding junk in the ring, and it's like it just, you know, for I hate to say it, Joe Walmart watching, you know, SportsCenter, he has no idea what TNA is or what's all that crap in the ring or whatever else, you know. And let's face it, with what's that linebacker's name again? Bart Scott.
Bart Scott.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't know who he is anyhow. He wasn't wearing a jersey. You know, he was wearing a White Sox cap, not a Jets hat. Didn't make any sense.
Oh yeah, that's true. And one thing, to me, besides a couple other WrestleManias, this is probably shaping up to be probably the best one. If
Cart before the horse. The event's got to happen.
Oh, please, Nelson. All you've been talking about is The Miz headlining. You know it's going to be
well,
great.
Hold on. If it goes like David Hero says, and John Cena does what's good for business, and Miz walks out WWE champion,
As David Hero predicted.
yes, then it's going to shape up to be probably the best one of all time. There's been great ones.
All right, Ricardo down in Houston, thank you very much for that phone call. We've got to take a timeout. When we come back, more of your text messages. This thing is blowing up here.
Are we really doing the stream?
This Sunday, right after TNA during TNA's pay-per-view.
Island in the stream.
That's what it's going to be.
Are you going to join me? You're going to be my color analyst?
I'll think about it.
All right. This is the award-winning Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN, streaming live at ESPNMilwaukee.com.
540 ESPN. The sports Milwaukee cares about all day long on 540 ESPN.
Easy come, easy go. That's just how you live. Oh, take it all, but
You really want to do the stream?
should've known.
Oh, man. I don't know if I can sit through it. That's 3 hours. I can't. We'll think about it.
Dude, guys, we're live.
Oh,
Are you serious?
welcome back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Was your mic on? Because that might be a problem.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the award-winning Pro
Thanks,
Wrestling
pal.
Report on 540 ESPN.
No, I didn't.
And ESPNMilwaukee.com. Thank you,
Kick your
Kaz.
ass.
Thank you, Kaz. You just did to him what he does to all of us on this show.
What do you mean?
Spun the heat back around. He turned that flamethrower and turned it back on you.
What did I do?
Damian Nelson here along with the Kaz.
Our private conversation has been violated.
Well,
private
there's
anymore.
a light that says on air. You distracted me so I couldn't see it, but you should have seen it.
What a damn grenade song. Really?
Would you take a grenade for Linda, wouldn't you?
I
That's
love
the worst
I love
song
Linda. I don't know
ever
if I could
written.
do that, though. I mean,
The Kaz, the
I might put
doctor,
my hand on a blade for you, but I don't know if I'll take a grenade.
the doctor of thugonometry.
I have a grenade in the New Orleans.
A hand grenade from the tropical isle. Let me tell you this. It's been a joyous week. I've got four very close friends who are down in New Orleans at Mardi Gras. I chose, due to my responsibilities as host of the year, to not go to Mardi Gras this year. And while I regret that decision.
Because you got to save your liver for Atlanta.
Pat O'Brien.
No, I got to save my
Pat
liver
O'Brien
for
is
Vegas.
very angry with you. You
Oh,
can
they'll
have
be
a hurricane.
fine. I'll be visiting them in Orlando very soon. But it's not about me. David Hero and Linda Kay, the social media diva. What do we got going on out in Twitter world there, Linda? Anything good?
On Twitter, more comments on tonight's Raw.
It was a good one. Well, I'm sure they're all still talking about The Miz.
The Miz. That's a lot of heat about The Miz tonight. We got a tweet from King D51 saying all they remember was The Miz getting to act like his favorite wrestler tonight. All Cena did was make The Miz look good, followed by LKIH.
L.
Is that
K.
Linda Kay is hot?
Ooh, King
Oh, my
D51 if that
goodness.
is. I love it.
I like it a lot. Social media center. We're on Twitter. Our Twitter username is @PWR Show. You can also join us and be along for the ride on Facebook. Our Facebook.
That sounds funny.
Our Facebook page is
Facebook rides?
Facebook.com/PWR/Pro Wrestling Report. We're also taking your text messages, and tell you what, this thing is blowing up here. The number 414-219-9125. Not to be confused, by the way, with our live call-in number, which is 414.
I prefer these text messages.
276-ESPN, 1-800-990-ESPN. Now, by the way, via that text account, not only do we not take calls, but there shall be no sexting.
Yeah, so don't try to be sexting Linda through this gimmick.
The interns read this stuff, and some of them are young, so just saying.
Well,
Let's get nuts!
The interns were the kids in the Thugonomics.
Thugonometry.
That too.
All right, let's get back on track here. We got to still talk about Raw, talk about TNA, get to the Road Dogg, who's going to be our guest in just a few minutes here. By the way, for the first time ever, guess who has an overrun? PWR has an overrun tonight. We're going long tonight.
Oh, my gosh. Hey.
Did we get that through legal?
I got to bring this up. Twitter user BarnGirl80, she's showering while listening to us right now.
Wow.
How about that?
I'm sure that's so relevant to what we're talking about right now.
Fan of the year now.
No.
Uh-huh.
No, you have nothing to do with selecting the fan of the year.
Are you serious?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing at all. As a matter of fact, Jonathan Orchard, our fan of the year from 2010, might pick this year's fan of the year.
Oh, I like that idea.
Well.
Yeah, you no, pal. All right, WWE Raw. Dolph Ziggler and Vicky Guerrero. Dolph Ziggler hired into Raw after being fired from SmackDown a couple of weeks back. Vicky Guerrero, however, has to prove herself and win a match against Stratus Faction. Trish Stratus next week on Raw. Gentlemen, Ziggy, Vicky on Monday nights.
I don't like it. If you're going to bring back Trish Stratus to help elevate someone, why is it Vicky? Let her work with the Bellas, or let her work with Alicia Fox.
Oh, yeah, because you see where that got them tonight. Their match got crapped on,
or
drizzling-wise, by Michael Cole in the middle of a Divas Championship match.
What's her name?
Rosa Mendez?
No, not Rosa Mendez. That's the other diva. Oh, my goodness. Now we got Pink is calling here. You know what? The wheels are off the bus again at PWR Show Studios.
Oh, no, it's still going round and round.
That's the hokey pokey, isn't it?
And I turned myself around.
All about?
Guys. Come on. Let's get with the program here. Insanity later.
Guy?
Right, you don't watch Seinfeld. Serenity now, Insanity later.
Oh, I don't know. I never watched Seinfeld.
All right.
Smallville's
Listen, here's what you guys need. You guys need Eric and Heartland again so that you can get back on track, because I'm a little dissatisfied with your performance tonight, all right? We're going to be talking in the post-show. Eric, you're live from Heartland on line 2. Eric, you're live.
I just got through your extension. I'm fine.
Eric.
Well, coming off of Seinfeld, it's kind of like, what's with these cell phones? Cut off.
Nice. Cell phone walk and talk.
You know what? I'm just going to say that TNA is that teenager with the 78 Camaro in his garage that just needs an engine and tranny, new exhaust, this, that, and this, and then one day it's going to be great. And that's the way I look at it right now. It's just a project. Maybe one day it gets finished, and that's it.
Good point.
So I kind of go off the top of my head here, but I am worried about Triple H and the Taker.
What makes you worried?
Triple H is really big. Taker is still hurt. And I really think they had to go no holds barred just to cover up the fact that I don't think either of these guys can work anymore.
Well, yeah, they are getting long in the tooth, both of them, and they'll use as many gimmicks and such to prolong that match to make it go at least 20 minutes.
But that's why it's a no holds barred, because now it just opens up a whole new ballgame for these two guys.
You know what? This is a Taker match, though. At the same time, like you go into a match thinking, oh, it's Vince McMahon versus Hulk Hogan.
Eric, let me tell you something. Listen, and this is going to explain the entire Triple H Undertaker match, because when it now becomes a career versus streak match, now he's not going to do a clean job the way Shawn Michaels did. Now Undertaker will have put him through tables, off of he will just beat him throughout the entire arena. So then when Triple H does lose, he will be hit with everything except the kitchen sink at WrestleMania.
Right.
Well, he might bring out the sink.
Now he might.
Guys, we got a text message here.
Kevin Sullivan, Benoit, and go into the urinal. That's what's important.
I hope not.
All right, text message here. All right, it says, how can you even compare 8 years of TNA to the 35-plus years of WWE?
Oh, to Eric's point just a little while
Thanks
ago
for the
about
call,
the car
Eric.
in the garage. Thank you for calling Eric out in Harlan, and thank you for that text. It looks like that came from the 313 area code, huh, Linda?
313.
All right. I'm sorry, David?
And nothing. I just said ooh la la.
WWE Raw. You know, I'm very happy to see Dolph Ziggler on Raw, and Joey Styles may have said it best when he sent out a tweet tonight saying that Dolph Ziggler is not only a former world champion, but he is a future world champion.
I agree with that. Who's left on SmackDown, by the way?
Who cares?
Well, really.
Here's who's left on SmackDown. You got the tag team champions, Heath Slater, and
they're on both shows.
The Coz's next big thing for 2011, Justin Gabriel.
Big time.
You've got a man who's in one of those
big 9 months, Justin. Figure it out.
One of those big-time matchups in WrestleMania 27, just made last week. At least the challenge was Cody Rhodes versus Rey Mysterio. David Hero, credit must be given where it's due. Yeah. Cody Rhodes is stepping into his role very, very effectively over on the SmackDown side of things.
You know what? I got to be honest with you.
Here we go.
I haven't watched SmackDown. I have no idea.
And that's why you're not a broadcast journalist.
I'm an opinionist. I don't journal anything.
I'm completely honest with you. I don't give a damn about none of you.
Oh, that works too. But hey, you know what? Scotty Too Hottie's coming to town. Speaking of Cody Rhodes.
CLCW Attitude.
Yeah, March 19th, next
Speaking
Saturday.
Of what? What kind of segment you said? Speaking of Rhodes.
Yeah, dashing and hottie. You know, why wouldn't it be?
It fits.
Yeah, he'll be at Circle B in Cedarburg. Go to BlizzardBrawl.com. Tickets start at $10. Scotty Too Hottie. And you know who else is going to be there?
Who that?
The Skull Crusher, Rashi Brown. The Love Machine will be there as well. So
is that Skull Crusher?
Skull Crusher. Yes. BlizzardBrawl.com.
The Miz said earlier today via Twitter and Facebook that he was boycotting WWE Raw tonight until he got the respect he deserved as a champion. The point we made earlier, which was actually pointed out by one of my followers on Twitter, The Miz has been champion for more than 100 days, which hasn't happened since Triple H last did it over 2 years ago.
Who's he beat?
Significant. Will you stop with that question? He beat the heck out of John Cena tonight.
No, really. I mean, as far as matches go, has he really even defended the title?
He beat a Hall of Famer in Jerry Lawler.
Yeah.
He's defeated John Morrison. The list goes on and on.
Okay, wait. So he beat 62-year-old Jerry the King Lawler.
Yep. And
then he beat John Morrison after John Morrison put himself through a table in a hardcore match.
That's correct.
Okay.
Does it hurt you at night?
But it's still a champ. It's all that matters at the end of the day.
Yeah, I know. It's great. I'm happy for Damien that he's finally been right on something.
Finally.
Huge.
Everybody you've hated, who I've been supporting for over a year here, The Miz, Cody Rhodes.
What is Cody Rhodes? Please tell me what.
Okay, he's got a match at Mania.
Done?
He's got a match at Mania.
Okay. Who doesn't have a match at Mania?
Who doesn't have a match at Mania?
Yeah.
Your guy, Jack Swagger. Your guy, Sheamus.
Whoa. Jack Swagger's in the main event with Michael Cole and Jerry Lawler.
You are such a spin cycle.
What do you mean? Oh, who has a bigger match? Cody or Jack Swagger?
Swagger.
Exactly. See?
But he's...
Prove my point.
Semantics. You hear Glenn Beck's almost on his way off the air.
That's fine. He'll be okay. He'll probably do a show with Charlie Sheen somewhere.
There you go.
Yeah. Glenn Beck's winning, too. Wait. He better reschedule me before he goes off the air.
I know. He owes you a segment.
I mean, he took a day out of my life.
Let's go back to the phone lines as we're running a little long here. Let's go to Mike in Iowa on line 1. Mike, you're live.
How's it going, guys?
Hey, Mike.
And I tell you guys, I'm excited doing the SmackDown house show this Sunday. Although I'm kind of, wondering why they're advertising Kane and Christian to face Slater and Gabriel.
Because those are the future tag team champions right there.
What city are they going to be in?
Moline, Illinois.
Okay.
Right across the river from me. So.
Mark of the Quad Cities.
Yep, Quad Cities, yeah. But I just had one quick question for you guys, and I don't know if anyone really cares or not, but what do you think they're going to do on NXT tomorrow since they didn't announce any rookies last week?
Here's the thing, Mike, and we appreciate that phone call. Thank you very much for calling from all the way in Iowa. I will admit, I've not. That's a long way. Have you ever driven to Iowa? That's a lot of corn, bro.
Bro?
It's a great state.
Who are you, Dallas Page all of a sudden?
I haven't watched NXT since it went online only. I can't. I'm sorry.
Why can't you?
Tuesday's a TV night. V is on, and then
Whoa, wait. You make fun of Smallville, but you watch A Letter?
Have you seen Anna?
No. Have you seen Lois Lane?
You got to see Anna.
I don't know.
And if you had a childhood, you'd be nostalgizing for V as much as everyone else is.
I did watch V originally.
You got to watch the remake. It's all green screen, dude.
Okay. Linda's like, she has no idea what we're talking about.
Oh,
really?
Text message here from the 405
Oklahoma.
Says Cody really is good at what he does. How about that, David
And
Hero?
what does he do is what I want to know. I mean, you got to be good at something, I guess. You know?
Linda, could you give me a back rub? Just my shoulders. Just a little bit.
Yeah. I'm good at what I do, too.
Because she's Asian, now you want a massage.
Inappropriate.
This is the award-winning Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN at ESPNMilwaukee.com. Welcome back to the award-winning Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN. We're streaming live at ESPNMilwaukee.com. Damian Nelson here along with David, the Octavius, the Tiberius, the alleged Hall of Famer Hero, the Doctor of Thugonometry, the Kaz, and our social media diva, Linda Kay. A little Razor Ramon there. Actually didn't give credit to Aaron Davidson, who picked Grenade, which was our last bump music.
That was cruel, by the way.
Joey Holston picking Razor Ramon, and we've got one more left. And that's going to go out to, we'll tell you when we do it, but it's going to be a doozy. And you get to pick the themes each and every Monday night here on the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN. You can do so via our Facebook page, facebook.com/Pro Wrestling Report. I want to remind you, if you're listening on Blog Talk Radio, be sure to favorite and follow the show. We just learned last week that we are the 6th most popular show on Blog Talk Radio, all of Blog Talk Radio. And we can't do that without all of you. And want to invite you to tune into the stream this Sunday night, 8:30 p.m. live coverage of TNA Victory Road, only on Blog Talk Radio.
We are taking your tweets tonight, too, and reading them live on the air right now. We've got one from Gene 2I. It says, PWR show is so random. That's why it's a good show. Keep it that way. I must agree with you.
It hurts my head at times.
How do you think I feel?
Well, you're not host of the year. What pressure do you have?
Pressure? There's way too much, stuff that flies around this studio. I'm a little hot right now. I'm a little hot right now with Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Because he just called you that?
No, well, and he stole my logo, my Superman shield, and put on the back of his shirt. I'm going to have the offices, the legal offices,
hell yeah!
Send a cease and desist for that.
Linda, I think we just got another text.
Of course we did.
From the 678 area code, it says, here's an off-topic question. What's the end game for Ted DiBiase Jr.? I mean, how can someone so relevant... Ted DiBiase Jr.
Oh.
I mean, how can someone so relevant a year ago fall so...
Well, he was he was riding Cody's coattails.
His end game is future endeavored.
Really?
Come on. Why not? They've let guys with far more talent go.
Well, Maurice now kind of is falling into that.
Believe me, Maurice will be there for a while. I mean, listen, because of Maurice, the economy in Texas, Best Buys have never sold more TVs.
There you go.
Let's go to an international caller calling from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. James, you're live here on the Pro Wrestling Report.
How are you today?
Tremendous.
Lovely. Damien, I appreciated your feedback there a few days ago when I emailed you with regards to some TNA criticism, which I thought you guys were directing unfairly towards TNA. But
excellent. Well, thanks for calling. I did invite you to call in.
Yes, yeah. And I was just wondering about the show from Fayetteville on Thursday. Do you think I thought even though the wrestling was, say, below average, I thought the overall look and the energy from the fans was a lot more appealing to watch from a viewer's perspective. And would TNA consider doing that down the road more often than not?
I think they have to.
Yeah, and thank you for that call, James. James just sent an email saying that he didn't feel we were spending enough time talking about TNA, and I think at the top of the program we sort of addressed that without addressing it. Well, there wasn't. I mean, there was stuff to talk about, but there were things overshadowing it.
Let's be honest. Here's the thing. You got The Rock and Stone Cold on one channel.
And The Miz and JBL and Vicky Guerrero and Dolph Ziggler and Cody Rhodes.
And on the other channel, you have the Jersey Shore chick that I don't even know what her name is.
Snooki!
No. On TNA.
Oh, Victoria, Vanessa, horrible?
Whoever.
She was horrible.
Yeah, she's like just, random person off the street. So, I mean, what should we talk about?
Well, we are going to talk about TNA's big live impact from Fayetteville, North Carolina. I'm sorry, not live, but their live event impact from Fayetteville, North Carolina last Thursday night. A lot to talk about on that. But, David Hero, you made one point because we know Snooki's going to be the guest star on Raw next Monday night. What did WWE do with that one booking?
That was a kick to the buttocks again. I'm telling you, they're having a hard time with that.
Because they have the Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
I guess the only bigger you can get is the situation.
No, I think Snooki. I don't watch the show.
Yeah,
I seriously.
Guilty pleasure. You didn't watch Melrose Place either, did you?
No. I watch. You know what? No. I watched For the Love of Money, and I've watched what is it? Flavor of Love, but I never watched Jersey Shore.
It's an acquired taste. However, that demographic fits exactly what
I'm
WWE.
too old for that show. Right?
No,
I
don't think so.
Well, you watch it, don't you?
You like Trainwrecks, don't you?
I love Trainwreck.
I've never seen it. I tried. I lasted 5 minutes through one episode, but they get Snooki, TNA gets JWoww, and Vanessa Victoria.
You know what's
Valencia,
funny is,
whatever her name was.
I don't know. When they showed the vignette of Snooki on Raw tonight, it looked like she was kissing another woman.
Well, that happens.
But
there's a pillow fight
against everything on Raw lately. I mean, yeah, they've been pushing the whole PG thing.
I saw middle fingers tonight.
What?
I saw middle fingers tonight.
Middle fingers. I thought you said little fingers. I'm like, Hornswoggle wasn't on.
We're going to talk about TNA Impact from Fayetteville when we come back. But before we go to timeout and take calls from Glenn in Orlando and Trina in Iowa,
I'm going to talk to Road Dogg.
Kaz, we're going to get to that as well in just a few minutes. Kaz, your thoughts on tonight's WWE Raw overall?
Overall, good show with not a lot of wrestling. Again, they are just obviously setting up WrestleMania right now and getting everything they need in order. They had the Undertaker come out right away at the beginning. So I thought it was a good show with not a lot of wrestling, and that's an odd pairing because you want to see as much wrestling as possible. Yeah, but it is what it is. I thought it was okay tonight, not bad.
D-Double.
Yes?
Your thoughts on Raw overall tonight?
I was let down by Stone Cold.
Really?
Yeah.
How so?
I wanted to hear him cut a promo. I wanted to hear him talk.
Well, the wrestling god took care of that.
I didn't want to see him, give stunners to JBL.
What about the 3 beers he poured on?
That was fine, but, I mean, we wanted to see Stone Cold talk, and he didn't do that.
I don't think he needed to do it.
I think Stone Cold got cheated. You give The
Really?
Rock 20 minutes. You give The Rock 15 minutes. You don't give one of the best talkers in the history of that company 5 minutes?
He's giving basically his own show.
Yeah, so let him talk about it. Steve Austin was cheated tonight on Raw, in my opinion. I would have liked to have heard him, have a little more of a verbal warfare with somebody.
I thought it was a tremendous Raw tonight with 2 hash marks in front of it and one
because
behind
we're going
it.
to catering.
When we come back, we're going to talk TNA. And keep in mind, the Road Dogg will be our guest in just a little while. This is the award-winning Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com.
540 ESPN Text Club members get the breaking news on the Packers, Brewers, Badgers, and Bucks. Sign up today at ESPNMilwaukee.com.
I always wanted to be on the cabinet.
On the who?
The cabinet.
Damien.
JBL had his cabinet?
No. Last year in Phoenix, all those JMO shots, you were on the cabinet. Remember?
Alex Rentowski sent that in. That was his selection for one of the themes that we used tonight, and it was selected. So thank you very much, all of you, for interacting with us. And a lot of you did reference last week's TNA Impact as well. We're going to get to those comments from our Facebook page in just a minute. We are live here Monday night, March 7, 2011. Coming up in just a few minutes, the Road Dogg, Jesse James, joins us live.
I'm sorry.
You will no longer be, if you can't focus and be a part of this show,
you have no idea how focused I am.
The Kaz, David Hero, and the social media diva, Linda Kay. Gentlemen, last week on Impact, Sting became the new World Heavyweight Champion. He returned. He was 3-3-11. TNA Impact on the road in Fayetteville, North Carolina. What a tremendous looking show. Having a live audience that was into the show, that paid to get in, that had an interest in the product was spectacular. And no matter what TNA does, they need to find a way. They need to find a way to do regular visits outside the Impact zone and broadcast Impact as it looked last Thursday night. Without the fact that a lot of people didn't agree with their choice of a new champion, it was a great show visually compared to what we normally get on Thursday nights.
At the very least, I know it's expensive to do a show live, but at the very least, have their pay-per-views live somewhere.
And Lockdown will be live in Cincinnati. We'll be there.
We're going to be there in Cincinnati at Lockdown,
which should be interesting.
All cage
Especially
matches.
after all the stuff you've been saying about TNA lately.
Really? Are we going to start that again? Hey, speaking of the stream and the pay-per-view this weekend, where's the Pope on the show? Does he even have a match?
David Hero, your thoughts on last week's Impact?
I liked it. You know, it wasn't terrible. I mean, it was nice to see a good-sized packed house for them.
Yeah.
There's about 3,500 to 4,000 people there, which is significantly more than what they're used to. It looked great on TV. But, I'm sitting there and I'm watching Hulk Hogan in the ring. And I'm thinking, holy crap. Hulk Hogan is now in the ring with 2 security guards turned wrestlers, Big Rob Terry, and Matt Hardy.
And Ric Flair and Eric Bischoff. Well, by the way, Ric Flair should have gotten his own entrance.
Well, but you know what? It just was like, wow. I mean, it was bad enough when Hogan was in the ring with the ECW crew and he said how great they were.
Right.
Boy, Hulkster, he needs some help in that ring.
He needs a lot of help.
Hulk Hogan now has 100% total control of TNA Wrestling from Dixie Carter.
Hulk Hogan also, you know what? Let's talk about Hogan for a minute. He goes on Twitter and spoils that Jimmy Hart's going to be at WrestleMania.
Right.
How bad is it for Hulk Hogan when now he has to do that kind of stuff? I mean, he knows.
Let's keep in mind, though, Jimmy Hart was a part of TNA Wrestling. He chose to leave to return to WWE for what he said was an appearance at Access that weekend, which doesn't make any sense.
No, but listen, Jimmy Hart's going to get paid more to be at WrestleMania than for a complete year at TNA. Let's just be honest about it.
Right.
And you know what? Jimmy Hart, he's a brilliant guy. He always finds a way to stay relevant with whatever wrestling companies they are.
Been around a long time.
I mean, as close as Jimmy Hart is to Hulk Hogan, he's just as tight with Jerry the King Lawler.
Yep.
That's just my thought.
Sting is the new TNA World Heavyweight Champion. Reaction initially was not very good to that, but
where did Sting get that Siegfried and Roy looking robe?
He was vintage. He went back to a man called Sting. He was going to be wooing.
Honest to God, I have fishing lures that are that shiny.
You fish?
Absolutely.
All right, I'm looking at your Facebook comments on last week's Impact. A lot of mixed reviews, but we got a comment here from Mikey Cruz Jr. saying, solid show, that I would have saved a few of these matches for a lockdown, seeing as they only have next week to make all the matches for a lockdown.
Well, they got a pay-per-view this Sunday to worry about first. Let's look that up.
You know, it's funny how
we go to TNAWrestling.com, see what kind of matches
It's funny how
listed.
they're calling the road to lockdown as Victory Road.
Well, it makes sense.
Yeah, but they've already forgotten
Royal
about
Rumble
Victory
is the
Road
road to WrestleMania.
You cannot compare Victory Road to the Royal Rumble.
I'm not comparing them. I'm comparing the concept of building
like
to your bigger events.
You are way too much, amigo.
I try.
Sounds like I'm in an elevator.
All right, we got, let's see, Victory Road 2011, the matches. We've got a First Blood match, Hernandez versus Matt Morgan.
Okay.
We've got an Ultimate X match for the X Division Championship, Jeremy Buck versus Max Buck versus Kazarian versus Robbie E.
Good for Robbie E.
Absolutely. Tag Team Championship matchup, Inc. versus Beer Money, the champions.
Mm-hmm.
A challenge match, Bully Ray versus Tommy Dreamer. And a Knockouts Tag Team Championship match. Sarita, who I'm loving more and more each week, by the way, and Rosita versus Angeline Love and Winter. Those are the matches announced so far for TNA Victory Road. And keep in mind, we've got another Impact this Thursday night, so I would assume more matches are going to be added, including potentially David Hero match featuring your boy, the Pope.
I doubt it. Seriously.
He'll main event it.
I mean, where are they going to use him?
I don't know.
Where are they going to put him? Where's Mr. Anderson wrestling? Who's he working with?
There is not an announced match yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure he'll get into main event somehow.
There's a rumor that Mr. Anderson might be wrestling the other three-letter word on Sunday. Could be interesting.
What will be interesting, or what is interesting for sure, is all the new merchandise available at the PWR shop. Go to pwrshow.com, click on the shop link. By the way, today is the last day you can get 17% off your order. Just use the code 17OFF for that big deal going on right now in the shop at pwrshow.com. Some of those shirts are only starting at $14 each, and you get 17% off on top of that. So it's a great deal. You can get the DWHS shirt, Pro Wrestling Report shirts. Thanks, pal. Tremendous. Yabba Dabba and also I like pro wrestling, and I tweet pro wrestling on some takes off of Facebook and Twitter. All those available in the shop.
Whoa, wait. You're stealing gimmicks now?
No, not at all.
Okay.
It's relative.
It is.
Also, WrestleMania 27 in Atlanta, Georgia, we're going to be covering it like no other. Monday, March 28th. It's a brand new show right here on 540 ESPN. And then every day that week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and WrestleMania Sunday, be the booker. We're going to take WrestleMania match by match. And over the course of 7 days, we're going to build that show as David Hero would see it. Be the booker, a week-long marathon leading up to WrestleMania.
You're not going to whine about anything, are you? I mean, it's just my opinion. It's not predictions.
Following that will be, I don't whine, thou shalt not whine. Following that event, WrestleMania 27, from the suite, Sweet and Sexy, we're going to be doing the post-show live from the Georgia Dome, covering WrestleMania 27, and then we wrap it all up with the very special ESPN radio review show of WrestleMania that following Monday. Well, without further ado, we're going to take a timeout and read more of your texts that we keep on getting, and we appreciate that. And when we come back, joining us will be the Road Dogg right here on the Pro Wrestling Report. We are live on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody. Go close the door and lock it.
All right, I'm doing it right now.
All right.
I'm locking the door.
It is with my great pleasure.
Locked. Good.
To introduce to you one of the greatest WWE, WWF Tag Team Champions of all time, the Road Dogg, Jesse James, the son of the soon-to-be inducted Hall of Famer Bullet Bob Armstrong. Welcome to Milwaukee, Road Dogg.
Man, if you didn't know, you better call somebody. Man, it's good to talk to you, Dave and Frank. I hope you really did lock him out of the studio.
He's locked out.
I tell you, he has been so obnoxious tonight ever since The Miz took out John Cena.
Yeah, and JBL came back
and then,
too.
Yeah, and then of course with JBL coming back tonight, also he's been driving us nuts. So this is going to be like our happy time.
I'm going to tell you the truth about the show. I watched the show again. I was hoping to see the promo package of my father's, being the next Hall of Fame inductee. And to tell you the truth, all they showed was a picture, but they gave Sonny a full 5-minute promo package. And all spare and love and war, but good God, I could have done with seeing my old man rather than seeing Sonny. But that's just the bias, I guess, of the Armstrong family.
Absolutely.
But no, man, I appreciate you guys calling me. And, we're really excited. Man, my brothers and I are all going to be up there to induct him into the Hall of Fame. And we're really excited, man. He's been at this for 50 years. He's been in the business for 50 years. And I don't know if you heard me say that or not, but he's been in the business for 50 years.
That's amazing.
What an emotional, forget about the physicality of it. You know what I mean? We've all got our bumps and bruises, but he's been in it for 50 years. And to just think about the emotions, that's what I think about, because so much time away from his family, so much time away from his wife, us kids, that's a sacrifice. The physical sacrifice is one thing, but the emotional sacrifice is what really takes its toll. And he's 71 years old, and I got a shot in McGee, Mississippi Mississippi, where me and him are going to tag this coming up Saturday night.
Awesome.
And so he still puts the hood on and still gets in the ring. He's a little slower, and but his mind is still fresh as a daisy, man, and he's got great finishes and great ideas still. You know, it's just incredible to think about. Before I was born, he was in there getting the crap beat out of him by the likes of Ox, Baker, and so forth. You know, it's just crazy. But we're proud, man. We're really proud of him, and it's an opportunity for literally globally, his career to be recognized, you know, and they're going to give him that ring, and he's really excited about getting that ring, because that's like the first shoot trophy I think he ever has, you know what I mean, he'll have ever gotten from the wrestling business. It really says, hey, dude, you're over, you know.
There you go. We're talking with the Road Dogg on the Pro Wrestling Report, 540 ESPN, ESPNMilwaukee.com. Road Dogg, talk a little bit about some of the things your father taught you that got you ready for professional wrestling.
Well, Frank, to tell you the truth, the one thing he always taught me was don't be a professional wrestler. And you see how well I took his advice in that category. But, him and my brothers literally trained me in the School of Hard Knocks. I never went to a wrestling school or anything like that. I was kind of trained in the backyard and kind of on-the-job training. And that's I was blessed with that, you know, to be born into the family that I was born into, especially when if you're honest with yourself and you think about it, how talented, it sounds cocky and braggadocious, but it's just, I think, the truth, how talented my family, each member of my family really is, from my dad to my brother Brad, and then to Scott and Steve. We're great tag team wrestlers, and Scott's still up there in the WWF. I just think in my household there was great wrestling talents and great wrestling minds, and I was just blessed to be in there. So lessons he taught me were learned, not like in a classroom format, but kind of in the ring and do as I do in the ring. You know what I mean? And so. I can't really tell you about the lessons, but hopefully when you watch me on old YouTube videos, you see that I learned them.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know what's going to be exciting is when the Armstrong family is out there on the stage and the crowd realizes that Road Dogg Jesse James is up there with a live mic.
And Dave, I've already thought about that 100 times. And you can WWE Universe, the WWE, the universe is wanting me to go crazy, but WWE can thank their lucky stars that I'm clean and sober, and that I am really trying to get in good graces with them, for obvious reasons.
You know what?
And so I promise. I'm sorry to the fans, but I promise to the company that I will be a good boy.
You know what? And let's talk about that for a second. You've been clean and sober, and you've been putting your work in. And I've got to say, I've known Road Dogg for a long time, and you know what? I've seen the ups and downs of the wrestling business. And right now, talking with him for the past couple of months, I have never heard a more positive, a more amazing Road Dogg in all the 13 years that I've known him. And I want to say he's doing amazing. He's keeping it real and staying straight. And I just want everyone to know I'm real proud of what BG James has been doing lately.
Yeah, and Dave, you have known me through the ups and the downs, and that's, that ain't just lip service. Me and you have been up and down the road together a time or two, and I appreciate you saying that, man. I really do, because I am doing really well, and I'm just thanking God every day that I don't have to alter my mind no more, man. I didn't know this life was available to me, and it is. It's available to everybody that all has to alter their mind to try to face life on life's terms, and you just don't have to do that. You just have to kind of man up a little bit and brave the hail of bullets that is life's ups and downs, So, I appreciate you saying that, Dave. Things are going good for me, and what a better time. All my brothers are actually clean and sober now, and that's thanks to the policies of the WWE, and we're all going to be standing up there inducting my dad into that Hall of Fame, man. And I said it earlier, but it deserves being said again. We just couldn't be prouder of my dad, and we couldn't be happier with the WWE for I know a lot of things go into who they select for the inductees as far as geographic location of the show and a lot of stuff, but the truth of it is, Dad is from Atlanta, and he is a homeboy, and he did get over down in the South. A lot of he never got the national exposure that, say, Brad or me got. But he did have a great run. Like I said, 50 years.
50 years.
He's
doing
had
something
a great
right.
run. And so if anybody deserves it, especially from that area, I think it's my dad, man. And we're just happy as pigs in slop,
Now, did he ever work for Vince Sr.?
No, never.
I
spoke with Ox Baker this weekend, and he was saying, I'll never be in the Hall of Fame because I never worked for Vince. And I told him, I said, well, my dad never worked for him either, and they're inducting him this year. And my dad and Ox Baker were actually friends. That's why I mentioned his name a couple times. I just ran into him this weekend, and they were actually really good friends in, like, the early 60s,
Sure.
And so that, no, he never worked for him.
So your dad pretty much joins Vern Gagne.
I think since Vince bought every, he owns every territory in the world now. So
yeah.
I think he owns all the footage, all of that stuff. So I don't think you have to actually have been employed by him,
But it just goes to show what kind of an impact Bullet Barb Armstrong had on the wrestling business. Because, only Vern Gagne is the only other guy that never worked for Vince Sr. or Jr. that's in the Hall of Fame. And now it's your dad as well.
And Vern was actually in direct competition with him. You know what I mean?
Right,
so
exactly.
That actually says a lot about Vern. But yeah, I guess you're right. It does say something about my old man too. And in the South, he did make an impact in the South and all over the South. And to tell you the truth, wrestling was big in the South too. During the 70s and the early 80s, it was huge in the South. And Dad was a major player in this territory. So yeah, we're just happy for him, man.
Well, I guess I want to quickly ask you about WrestleMania, what that means to you. You've obviously been at a few of them. What's the first thing you think about when you hear WrestleMania?
It's just like everybody thinks. It's the show. It's the big show. It's the biggest wrestling pay-per-view ever. You know what I mean? And so, I was in a few of them, and I looked at it differently then because when I was younger, I almost had a sense of entitlement, like, I'm the star, I should be here. And now that I have stopped altering my mind, I kind of look at it for what it is. It's the biggest wrestling extravaganza in the world, and I'm just humbled to be a part of it this year. And I can't even imagine. I was so young and stupid. Now I can't even imagine being in there, walking out and down that ramp. You know what I mean? It's weird to say that, but my mindset is just totally different in the past 4 or 5 months of my life.
And this year it's going to be a reunion. Stone Cold Steve Austin's going to be back, as well as The Rock. Trish Stratus is going to be there as well. It's going to be an Attitude Era WrestleMania.
Yeah, and you know what, Dave? I really am finding the show kind of entertaining because I feel like I'm almost at a class reunion or something. You know what I mean? All the guys, seeing Taker. And Taker's been the constant. He's never been gone, but I see Taker, I see Shawn on there cutting promos, I see Hunter, I see Stone Cold, I hear Trish Stratus's name.
Diesel?
You know what I mean? It's just like, holy crap, I'm waiting to see me and Billy walk out, but I know we didn't tape anything, so I know we're not going to, but that's the only thing I feel like's missing, Well,
they could use you and Billy back to revive that tag team division, which is, wow, that's brutal right now. So.
Which is almost non-existent from what I've seen. Yeah, they could dang sure, if not to work, to at least teach some boys how to work a tag match. But that would be great. That would be great. Billy's still in great shape, that's for sure.
Well, Road Dogg, we appreciate your time tonight. We will see you in Atlanta in about a month, and continue to stay on that right track. You sound great, and we look forward to seeing you very soon.
ESPN. Well, I really appreciate it, man. And come to think of it, you will see me real soon. I think, Dave, what's the date on that? I'll be up there in Milwaukee.
You'll be back up here in Milwaukee on March 25th for ICW Wrestling.
Yeah, March 25th at Yuck Yucks Comedy Club. Come and see me live. I'm going to be out there, man. And I really appreciate you guys having me, and thanks so much. And I will see you up there soon.
All right, my man. Dress warm when you get up here. It's kind of chilly.
Will do.
All right,
do.
man.
That's for sure, man. Hey, God bless you guys. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks,
Thank
Road
you,
Dogg. We come back. We continue wrestling talk, and maybe we'll let Damien in. Eventually, we'll do it.
Maybe.
We're broadcasting live from the Time Warner Cable Studios in downtown Milwaukee. You're listening to Pro Wrestling Report, 540 ESPN, ESPNMilwaukee.com.
540 ESPN.
If your credit card debt has gotten out of control, if you're over your head at monthly payments, here's one powerful secret the credit card companies don't want you to know. You have the right to settle your credit card debt for a fraction of what you owe, allowing you to cut your debt up to half or more. That's bad news for credit card companies, but it's great news for you. We're Consumer Debt Advocate, and we'd like to offer you a free consultation that will help you start eliminating credit card debt. For your free consultation that will set you free, call 1-800-983-5979. Don't ruin your credit by declaring bankruptcy. Settle your debt and move on with your life. During your free consultation, you'll find out what the credit card companies don't want you to know. For your free consultation that will help you settle your credit card debt for a fraction of what you owe, call today. The number is 1-800-983-5979. 1-800-983-5979.
Just 60 days. That's all it takes to start transforming your business, thanks to Constant Contact. Their simple step-by-step checklist will help you transform your small business with email marketing and social media. That's right. In just 60 days, you can better connect with your customers, generate referrals, and build the business you've always wanted. Go to ConstantContact.com/transform and start your 60-day transformation today.
Get the latest fantasy information during Fantasy Sports Weekly, Saturday mornings at 9 on 540 ESPN.
No, shut this up. Kill it. Listen, the two of you.
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
The two of you, one more time. You pull some crap like that, you will never lock the door and lock me out of the studio when we have a major.
It's in the middle of an interview.
You weren't in the middle of nothing. You left to go into the interview room, and I said, I'll be right there. I've got some show prep to do.
Dude,
after
you
the
went
break.
to go eat your perch. Come on. Really?
Linda, I'm glad you're here. Because, I think we're coming up on the anniversary of the whole Rodney King thing, and I just want to know why we can't all just get along.
Dude.
Hey, Whitey, where's your hat?
All right, you guys, we're going to read one more tweet from tonight. This comes from Scott Ennis01 saying the creative genius behind Creative Geniuses PWR. So
clearly he was talking about me. That's awesome. Thank you. You know what I got to say sincerely? Linda's here, the social media diva. We want to thank all of you for all of your interaction tonight, whether it be via Twitter, Facebook, the text thing. We've gotten over 100 texts tonight just during the broadcast here, which is amazing. Clearly, we didn't get to all of them, and we'll try to do that.
You're going to read them all.
Episodes. I read them all, but not able to get to them all because they would spur so much discussion.
And some were kind of personal.
A few. But we're going to go to our final caller of the evening.
You got that email we got to read yet, too.
Trina from Iowa, you're live here on the Pro Wrestling Report.
Saving the best for last. Hey, guys, how you doing?
Hey, Trina.
Doing great.
Well, I love you guys. I've been listening forever. But
thank you.
But the thing is, lately I've been noticing that you guys becoming wishy-washy. Like, 1 minute you're talking about John Cena, how his promos are stale or just monotone.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But when he changes it up and brings back even, I think, was it you, Damien?
It was Damien or Frank. It wasn't me.
It was one of you guys who wished Cena went back to his rapping.
Oh, that was
Frank.
And
No, that was not me.
It was.
Go ahead,
Trina. It was a long time, and he came back to his rapping, and now you guys are complaining about that. But you guys aren't saying anything how The Rock hasn't been back on live TV.
Here's the thing, Trina, and we appreciate that. What's the big deal about whether The Rock is there or not? I'm missing the point. If that's all Cena's got to
that's all he's got.
Pick on The Rock about, he's got a pretty weak argument. You don't need Matlock for this one. I don't understand, unless you're there live, and I get it if you're in Dallas this week or Buffalo last week, where you may be expecting to see The Rock. What's the big deal? I mean, Shawn Michaels has been via satellite. John Cena has been via satellite several times. I understand Cena playing to it, and I don't recall any of us saying he should go back to rapping. I do recall us saying we enjoyed that time, but not saying go back to it. We did talk about why he went away from it, which made him more of a broader appeal to all of the WWE universe. But John Cena, nor can anyone else touch The Rock. I'm sorry. It's just that simple, and that's not faulting them. That's not faulting them. Thank you. That's not faulting them. That's talking about how great the great one is.
Well, see, first of all, here's the thing, too. John Cena's movies take 2 days to film. The Rock needs at least a month. So, there's a big difference right there.
That's an excellent point, and so true. Yep, I'm sure that's going to be taken by some as a jab at John Cena.
It seemed like Cena forced it tonight.
And keep in mind, I've talked for a long time about how much respect John Cena deserved. He's one of the hardest working men in the business.
He's one of the hardest working guys.
No
question.
And he's got the weight of the company essentially on his shoulders no matter what he's doing. So we're not discounting John Cena at all. But much like all of you, we are fans. And this week, John Cena didn't win.
I mean,
I don't mean win against The Rock. It just wasn't entertaining.
John Cena even showed up to work when he was fired.
That's how guy. Hey, we got an email. Thank you very much for that call, Trina out in Iowa. We got an email from David Hogan who says, just wanted to indeed verify that David here. Wait a minute, we're out of time. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to join us. Join us Friday for a brand new edition of the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime. We'll be back with you again next Monday.
You are.
Right here on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com. We want to thank all of you for joining us later and staying up later with us, and also our guest, the Road Dogg, who we're going to see in the ATL at WrestleMania 27, coming up in just a few weeks. For Linda Kay, the social media diva, David Hero, and the Cos. This is Damian Nelson saying so long, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to us live here on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com.